Philly is one of those places that, like, ever since the first time I traveled here in like 2007, I was filming for Insight with Navaz at the time. I've loved it ever since. And I knew I was gonna love it because just like the style of spots here is like so unique. And like, you know, me coming from California and living there basically my whole life, being able to ride like storm doors and like rail hops and all this stuff that's not really like as prevalent on the West Coast. It's like, that's the kind of stuff I always wanted to ride because I grew up watching these animal videos, and I'm just like, dude, I need to get there. I need to ride this stuff. And yeah, Philly didn't let me down at all. Like, you know, between the spots and the food and the people and the crew and everything, it's just like, it's one of those places that it holds a special place in my heart for sure. And spent a lot of time here over the years, like filming for like cult videos and stuff. The last time I actually filmed street here, like actually like filmed for a video part, was 8 years ago. It was Talk is Cheap. So like I've been like dying to come back since, but it just hasn't lined up. It's been like other trips, going other places. When the idea, you know, came up to film a promo for this shoe, I was like, we have to go to Philly. Like, there's no question. Done enough stuff on the West Coast. Like, it's time to come back east. So it's been incredible, man. It remains as one of my favorite cities in probably the world to ride, to be honest. Like, been a lot of places, in this place, something about it is just special to me. Since it's been so long since I've been here, I was so psyched to be coming out here that for like the last month or so, I would just be on like Google Earth, like at night when I'm chilling in bed, like just like basically just clicking and going through streets and trying to find stuff. And actually some of the things that I found on Google Earth like ended up working out really well on this trip. So it's like, it's nice to have a tour guide, but it's also like, there's something special about like finding stuff on your own. Like, just like, whether it be like digital spot searching or just zigzagging streets. So like the fact that a few things worked out, and then between that and just like kind of going off on our own and just getting lost in the city, like ended up finding like some stuff that I've never ridden. So
3 hours later,
it just worked out. So yeah, it's just one of those places, dude. Things just work here. So my first trip here was for Insight, and Navaz was like, yeah, come out to Philly, like try and get some East Coast stuff for your part. I'm like, dude, I'm so down, like always wanted to. So I came in July. And I'd never experienced like humidity before, like that high, and obviously the heat was insane too. So it was like 100 degrees and 90% humidity or vice versa, and it was just like, it was really gnarly. And at that time, like I wasn't really like very in tune with my body. Like, so I like didn't really know that I should be drinking more water and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I was getting like heat exhaustion, trying tricks and everything. But I fell in love with cheesesteaks for sure. Trying to think what else. Pizza, obviously, Lorenzo's. Something about this city felt really special to me, and I had like this connection to it. So that's why like I continue to have that desire to come back here and just like ride it whenever I can. So dude, I probably got like, no joke, like between 8 and 10 flats on this trip, and it was only a week long. It's just like glass everywhere. Today I got 3. I got one riding back from getting coffee, barely made it back to the house, and then I got one when we were just like out riding to another spot. And then I got one while trying what was essentially going to be like the last thing I was able to film for this video. It was getting dark, and he was like looping around, and I just heard tss, 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 tss. I was just like, dude, really? A 3rd flat today? Like, yeah, man. So ran over a lot of glass, unfortunately, but literally other than the flat tires, like I have 0 complaints on this trip. So if that's the one thing I got to take away that's bad, I'm down for it. Definitely #1 favorite clip that I've filmed in Philly is no surprise. It's a 360 turn down over the rail hop, my ender, and Talk is Cheap. That's probably my favorite thing I've ever filmed in my whole life. So that'll probably continue to hold that place unless something else jumps out at me. Considering the circumstances, you've been working on a video for 2 years or whatever it is, and like you get your ender and it's something that's like you haven't really seen before, and it's like on like a really cool spot in a really cool city. It's just like something really special about that to me. So that one definitely will hold it down. To be honest, like a lot of the stuff that I filmed in Talk is Cheap in Philly is like probably some of my favorite things, because those are my last times like out here filming. Another one that comes to mind is like I had this line where I had jumped over a rail in front of a church, landed, and then 540'd over another rail down like a stair set, which I originally didn't even want it. Like I wasn't even planning on doing the 5. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try and 180 bar this. And anybody that knows me and my riding, bar spins are just like, I could do them, but it's not an easy trick for me. So couldn't get myself to throw them. So I'm like, I'm just gonna 5 this, you know, like out of anger. And it worked out like first try. The first time I like spun the 5, it worked. So I was pretty hyped on that. And I was stoked to actually have a trick at City Hall before it got torn out. That's like such an iconic spot. It's been in every BMX video, street video that I had seen up to that point. So getting a trick there was really special. Vans reached out to me like almost this time last year, like maybe like October, November. And they had talked about like wanting to do like a slip-on with the BMX sole, and I was like so stoked because it was something that I had suggested a long time ago, but there was something as far as like the design went that it actually didn't seem like it was going to work on that shoe, but then they realized that it would. So they hit me up and they were just like, you know, what do you think, like doing a colorway? And I was like so stoked because, you know, I'm super thankful. I've had so many colorways with Vans shoes. I've had, you know, old schools. I've had skate highs, eras, all this. And it's just really cool to finally have a slip on, because that's like the majority of the time that I'm riding and chilling, I'm wearing a slip on. So the fact that they were able to do a BMX version was like super rad to me. So, yeah, I went in and I had some drawings that I'd come up with that I thought would be cool to incorporate into the shoe in any way that they, you know, felt like it would work. And we were able to do like a deboss on the tongue. It's basically like a stamp, like a branded logo that I drew. It's cool to kind of have my own flavor added to it. It has like tonal stitching. So like where it's black, there's white stitching and vice versa. So I just wanted something that was like super wearable. Like if you had blue jeans on or you had khakis, it's like it doesn't matter, you know, because, you know, it's like you want something that you can wear every day. And I think, you know, between the way it looks and the way it is performing, it's just like I got zero complaints. I'm super stoked. So it's really nice to have another shoe with Vans, and yeah, just forever grateful. Native Land was like a concept that I came up with back in like 2013, I think. I was like fresh off of rehabbing like after a knee surgery, and I was feeling like really good, and I just wanted to be like riding and filming as much as possible. I was like talking to Veesh, I was like, we should just like film stuff around Cali and kind of see what happens between trips, because, you know, it's like traveling and filming on the road is one thing, but then like being home and filming is a completely different vibe and feel. So I like both, but I just wanted to have something to do when I was home, when I wasn't traveling to film. And Veesh was down, so we would just like kind of go out, and we started getting a timeline together, and it was really stoked on how it was looking. And he asked me to come up with like a name or whatever, and apart from like a year living in the Northwest, like I was born and raised in California, and it's like, it's my heart, you know? It's like basically somewhere that like I'm so thankful to have grown up in. And so I was just like, well, you know, Native Land, this is like my native land. I was born and raised here, so it's got kind of a cool sound to it. And so we went with that. And since then, like, it's not really a side project, but it's been my side project when I'm like when I'm not traveling and I'm in town and I'm home, it's like I'm filming for that if I don't have anything else going on. So essentially it's just been an excuse to just film more, you know, because like I know mentally I feel the best when I have projects to work on and I have things like going on, and it's like such like a great escape from anything else going on. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go film, you know. I have these tricks I want to do or these spots I want to find. And the latest one was like really special to me because nothing was going on, no traveling because of COVID, and everybody was trying to be like mindful of everything that was going on. So it's like, it makes sense. Like, yeah, don't travel, don't like be around a bunch of people. But so me and Veesh kind of took that time and used it to our advantage, and we would like go out and film at spots that you normally can't go to. And like we were being super mindful. Like we would drive separate, we wouldn't fist bump, or we'd fist bump, but we wouldn't like really get close to each other. Yeah, I remember the first day, it was like the first day we went and filmed, it was like a month into the COVID stuff, and like he like shot long lens and we were like away from each other. We were just trying to be like safe because we didn't know what was going on. This one worked out really, really well because since I wasn't traveling, all of my motivation and all of my like energy was going to this part. So I actually filmed 95% of that video during COVID. There was like a couple tricks that were prior, but like a good chunk of the video was filmed during a pandemic. And I'm really happy with how the part turned out. Like definitely one of my top 3 favorite projects that I think I've ever filmed. So maybe top 5, actually, I don't know. Top 3 or top 5. I think Talk is Cheap is my favorite part that I filmed, because that was like at a time in my life where I was just like so fired up and so juiced. And not to say I'm not now, I'm probably equally as fired up and juiced, but that was earlier in my, I guess, career. So I had like way more things I wanted to achieve at that time. And not to say I don't have just as many now, but like something about that, it was just like, I just was like fired up. I was just like, dude, this is like, gotta do this, I gotta do that, I wanna get this trick and that. And I've definitely carried that same motivation, but like something about that one felt different to me. So yeah, I think that was probably my favorite part that I ever filmed. I was really happy with my Vans Illustrated part too. Traveled the world for that one. Footage in Japan, footage in like Mexico City, all over the States. I do like my Insight part, even though that was like technically like my first like real video part. I was really happy with how that turned out. It got me more sparked on filming video parts than I already was prior, because I'm like, now I have this one that I'm proud of and I just want to build off of that. So I do like my It's Later Than You Think part too, because there's like some tricks in there that were like dream tricks for me. And every part I have, I try to have like the things that I like to do. Like obviously there's going to be wall rides in it, there's going to be 180s, there's going to be 360s, but I like to like add a little something extra to that too. So try to build off of it. But yeah, those are the ones that are coming to mind right now, but I'm sure there's others. I don't know. Yeah, so it's been a bit strange like the last like whatever 8 months, like not really traveling or going on as many trips, or any for that matter, with COVID going on. But yeah, super stoked to finally be out and about. Traveling's been a little bit weird though, like just flying with a mask and everything. And I understand like, yeah, that's like there to protect you and protect other people, but it's still like, can't deny it's not very fun. Just wearing a mask for 6 hours or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, whatever it takes at this point. It's like I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to ride places that I love. And if that's what I have to do, then is what it is, you know? Dude, I'm looking forward to hopefully like starting to like really travel again and go places outside of the US. I mean, it's been great like being a little bit more home than I normally would be, especially like my first year of marriage. Like it's been nice to be able to spend time with my wife, but like Yeah, man, like the last 13 years have been spent like traveling the world, and like having that like essentially like not be there for me has been super strange. And it's been super strange for a lot of other BMX riders and skaters or whatever. But yeah, so hopefully things get sorted out sooner rather than later. Just looking forward to like just staying on it, and I feel really motivated, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon. So I just want to keep, you know, being the best, so corny, being the best me I can be. Because like, you know, comparison is like the death of happiness. So it's like if I'm like comparing myself to other riders all the time, which I'm guilty of sometimes, I just like, you know, I start getting down on myself. But like if I'm just like trying to better myself and be the best version of myself I can be, like that's where like the joy is, and that's where like the love for BMX like really could thrive. So just kind of, I know that's like super like, I don't even know, really deep, but like that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And hopefully more, you know, a more healthy year for people, I would say. Honestly, just that like, it feels like it's easier to run out of tricks than it is to run out of spots. So it's like, even if you're still doing the things that you enjoy doing, like the tricks you enjoy doing, if you're doing them on new spots or like, you know, having a fresh take on those same things, it like keeps riding super like fresh and entertaining for me. And like, it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's almost like an obsession, you know, but it's like, it's a, like there's terrible obsessions to have, but this is like a healthy one for me because it keeps me on it. It keeps me excited to ride. It keeps me excited to find fresh spots and like just like zigzagging in my truck and like going to zones that I've never been to. It's like, that is like something that like, for instance, like if I'm going to do that, like say tomorrow, the night before I get like giddy. Like I'm just like, dude, I'm super excited. I'm going to go to this zone. I'm going to like jam on some music while I'm spot searching. And it's just like it's a really like, it's almost like meditative to me. So I think that's probably the main reason I stay stoked, and it gives me like new ideas for new tricks too. Because if you see setups that you've never seen before, it's like, cool, I really like this and I want to get something for it. So I might have to like step out of my comfort zone and do something a little bit different. So yeah, I think between those couple things, it's like, I can't even imagine not spot searching. Like, and it's always there for you, you know? It's like, even if you're hurt, like you could get in your truck and you could zigzag, or you can get on Google Earth and just go down streets. So it's like it's something that brings me a lot of joy, and it's something that's like always there for me. So I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful that I have that passion for it, because I don't even know what life would be like without it.